Hey everyone, welcome back to the Homestead. So it's another sit down kind of video. I'm kind of continuing on my kind of rabbit hole of prepping to bulk shop only twice a year. The reason I'm doing so many videos on it is because it takes a lot of preparation to be able to do that. And I wanted to kind of take y'all along through every single step so that if you're interested in doing something like that, you'll know what to do. So last week, it was a couple weeks ago, but we were talking mainly about what I plan on doing to achieve that goal. We talked a little bit about pricing, but we're really going to kind of dive deep into the canning shelves this time, and like my bulk storage and stuff. And then probably in another video, we'll talk more about freezers. We'll talk a little bit about freezers today, but not much. So if that is something that interests you, I hope you stick around. And for those that are new here, I'm Casey of Ormsby Farm. I was a city boy that about 4 years ago moved out to the country because of certain family situations, had sold my homestead and moved back to the city. But now I'm free and back to the homestead. And so I will be doing videos like baking from scratch, canning, preserving, bulk buying hacks, homesteading stuff in general, backyard chickens, raising meat chickens. So that interests you, go ahead and press that subscribe button and press the bell because YouTube will notify you when I put out new videos. So let's get into the intro so we can talk more about the pantry shelves.
Finally home.
All right, so canning shelves. Let me tell you, I have learned a lot in my 4 years of homesteading. And one thing that I have learned is your canning shelves are like your golden station, right? And it's like hot real estate. And if you can stuff that you're not going to eat, it's just wasting that space. And I've learned that a lot of the stuff that I eat that is canned, especially over the winter, because in the summer I'm doing more fresh from the garden when my garden is doing well. Fresh stuff during the summer. But the winter, I'm eating a lot of canned meats and soups. I'm big on prepping ahead for meals, freezer pucks, canned soup, canned meat, convenient meals, so that you don't have to, when you have a super busy night, run out to, say, McDonald's and grab something. Not that I do that or anything. But I've got to be better now that I'm at this new homestead. So what I did, and I hope when you see this video, because a couple hours later, I will be going live on my YouTube video. So by the time you see this video, I will be going live that night. This is Monday night. And I'm going to be talking about how I use ChatGPT AI to help my homestead. Now, a lot of people are so scared when they hear AI. They're like, oh, no, I want nothing to do with it. And, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, great. It's weird. I get it. But it's here. So we have to figure out how we can use it to our advantage. And one way that I have figured out how to do it is I literally use ChatGPT as like an assistant. Now, it's just me here at the homestead. Now, I do have a dog. Her name is Destiny. She's almost 16 years old. She's bougie on what she eats. And I have my chickens. I have 21 chickens outside. So that kind of wraps up the homestead here. Now, do I have my mother come and visit every once in a while? Absolutely. Do I have my brother Chris and my sister-in-law Tara, and my little tunk, my niece come and visit? Absolutely. But all in all, it's me with some throw-in family dinners here, friends, all that kind of stuff. So when I went into prepping my pantry shelves, I talked to ChatGPT just like an assistant. Hey, with looking at these meals over 30 days, help me figure out what I need to can, what I need to freeze, what I need to bulk buy to get ready for the winter. And the best thing about ChatGPT is it created it for me. Now I'll show a little bit here and there, like a screenshot stuff overlays on my computer and stuff, because I've done a lot of mathematical equations, which are not, me and mathematical equations are not really good friends. But I've had to do it so that I know how many jars I need to buy, how many jars I need to prep of a certain thing, so on and so forth. What I've learned is that, as I said before, I'm more of a meat and soup kind of person out of my canned stuff. Now, do I eat, like the pickles? Yes, but really not as much as I thought I would. I have a lot of leftover pickles. Salsa, I go through like crazy, all different types of salsas. I've gone through most of my diced tomatoes from 2024 garden. I didn't have a garden last year, if you've been following me, and my garden has not done good this year. And we're going to talk about that canned stuff in a second. I don't go through a lot of fruit pie mixes, fruits, and jams as much as I thought I would. And the best thing about ChatGPT is you can put all this, everything that I'm saying to you, you can type it in. And somehow with AI, they take all the dishevelment that is in here and spread it out to something that says, okay, well, if you do this, this, and this, then you need 12 quarts of this. You need 24 pints of this. And one thing that I actually took from AI, this ChatGPT, is that as a single person, as just one person, me canning meats in a quart is just a lot for a lot of leftovers. Now, if it was me and a spouse, me and children, then it would be different. But it just being me, I'm going to start canning my meat, bone out meat, of course, in pint jars, because that's good for just a meat. I may have a little bit of leftover, which y'all know I love to can my leftovers, and I love to do freezer puck of my leftovers. And then that would save up a lot of my quart jars for things like broth, soup. When I do a quart of soup, that's usually 2 meals. So that's how I kind of map that out. So it kind of helped me guide everything out. And then when I'm looking at a 30-day spreadsheet of meals, I can say, okay, I want to use canned for that. Or no, let me use frozen for this. So that I can kind of really get a feel of how many things I need to prep. And because I'm doing bulk shopping twice a year, so in October and in February, I can then look at my canned stuff and be like, okay, I can can this here because I'm really canning for 6 months. And that's a good thing. Like this stuff I'm gonna start canning pretty soon, soups, meats, maybe some salsas, but really because the soups and hearty meat kind of stuff, the stews and all of that, I won't eat from February to October. That's the summer. That's more of the time where I'm going to have like shredded chicken or chicken breasts in there, and I will be canning my chickens that I'm raising in November. So that will really kind of help me, one, not overspend, and two, not overcan, where I have just stuff just sitting. Because now I don't necessarily can for long haul. I buy long-term food storage items such as Augustin Farms and freeze-dried food like that. But I plan, because I know the skills to garden, to raise my own meat, I do it for the year. Really doing it for the season, the half of the season, the colder months, and then the warmer months. So that is my goal going into the canning stuff. Another thing that I really enjoyed doing the first year that I did homesteading and canning is meals in a jar. They're so easy. I learned it from my friend Alicia over at Country Mama Musing, and I just haven't done it in a while. So that's a goal that I'm really gonna try to get together for quick nights of shooting podcasts, Slade, and all that kind of stuff is to get some meals in a jar prepped and get them ready for the winter. Because again, winter, we're talking hearty, we're talking good, stick to your ribs kind of food, casseroles, soups, pastas, that kind of stuff. So now going back to my tomatoes, one thing that I am doing this year, because my garden did not do well, I'm kind of piggybacking off of Jessica over at Three Rivers Homestead. She had a catastrophe happen to her garden. Once you finish this video, I'll leave the link up there so you can go watch what happened. But I've been listening to her on pretty much bulk buying frozen vegetables because they're the ones that have the most nutrients. I was mind blown. Again, I don't claim to be an all-knowing, all-seeing homesteader wizard, okay? So now I can look and be like, okay, garden didn't do well. What are the veggies that I always eat? Because that's the thing. You don't want to put stuff in the garden that you're not going to eat. And I'm pretty picky on my vegetables. I have a hydroponics in my kitchen that does my spinach and my lettuce when I do my lettuce. I have lettuce going right now, not spinach. And I actually would like some spinach. But I mainly do lettuce in there. Veggie-wise that I'm a ride or die for is yellow squash, zucchini, asparagus, sauteed spinach, sometimes Brussels sprouts, and then of course I love beans, which I consider those mainly, as I call them, legumes, instead of the vegetables. But because I always like to plan out, when I plan out my dinner, I like my main entree, I like a small amount of starch, and I like my veggie. And so that's how I kind of get ready for the winter and prepping that way. And again, I use AI and I say, plan out my meals as a grown man of how much meat I should have in an entree, how much starch, how much veggies. And it calculates that from different data information that it can find on the internet. 6 ounces is really, now, have I had my times where I have had a 10-ounce filet at the Longhorn Steakhouse? Yes. Did I really need it? No. But 6 ounces is kind of what I aimed for when, in the last video, when I was doing all of my calculations of math. So, what they say, who they is, I don't always know, but I'm listening, is that me as a grown man, a 38-year-old man, I should have 6 ounces of your protein. Half of that should be a starch, double that should be your veggies. So that's 6 ounces of meat, that's 3 ounces of starch, that's 12 ounces of veggie. Do I always do that? Yeah. But I try. But that's how I prep. So I'm looking, okay, if I have 6 dinners of asparagus at 12, that's 72 ounces that I need of asparagus that is frozen, put away. And again, I'm glad that I'm doing them twice a year because I don't have to all at once shove it into my freezer because I only have one freezer, y'all. I didn't bring but one freezer to this new homestead. And I probably in the future, I'm gonna have to get another one, but we're gonna cross that bridge when we come to it. But also with my diced tomatoes, because my garden did not do well, not only am I having to buy my frozen veggies, squash, zucchini, all of that from Azure Standard, but I'm also going to be buying my canned tomatoes, crushed tomatoes, tomato sauce from Azure Standard as well. And it's a good thing that we got into that because, you know, Azure Standard is today's sponsor of the video. If you've been looking for an affordable way to stock up your pantry with high quality foods, let me tell you about today's sponsor. Azure Standard is probably one of my most favorite places to buy bulk pantry staples, organic ingredients, and non-GMO foods for long-term food storage and everyday cooking. What I love most about Azure is that it's a family-owned company dedicated to making real, wholesome food accessible for everyone. They carefully choose suppliers who meet high standards so you can shop with confidence knowing you're getting food made without artificial colors, flavors, preservative, GMOs, and unnecessary additives. And also, instead of paying expensive shipping, Azure delivers to convenient community pickup locations all across the country, making it easy and affordable to stock up on everything from grains and flours to freeze-dried food, baking supplies, fresh produce, and so much more. If you're ready to start building your pantry or simply want healthier groceries for your family, click the link down in my description box and use my code CaseyGuest3 to get started. So yeah, I love me some Azure Standard. And as I said in the little ad, if you were interested, there's a link down below and use CaseyGuest3 because that's my name. And start your journey of stocking your pantry much healthier. I pretty much do that fully right now on my grains and stuff. Like I get my flour, my cane sugar, rice, beans, oils. Most of that I get from Azure Standard anyways, and I don't do it all the time. That's another thing, because people are like, oh, it's so expensive. But see, before I was really only doing it for 4 times a year, mainly. Again, solo homesteader. And now doing it twice, it's going to save me so much more money doing it that way, because if you buy in bulk, the price does go down. It's just simple mathematics, y'all. But I am going to get all of my tomato products from Azure Standard and my frozen veggies from either Azure Standard, or I'm looking at some Aldi veggies too, because if you didn't see the video that Jessica did on organic is the hype, truly the hype kind of thing, it was very interesting to learn about the Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen. So go check that video out too. So that is why, to keep my budget down, some of the veggies may be coming from Aldi's, and not even necessarily organic ones, okay? Because listen, I pretty much do organic when I do my gardens. I just am not certified organic. And so it's gotta be something that you feel comfortable with. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing with my pantry goods and my bulk goods. I will say I love canned beans, convenience. Beans, Azure Standard for my dry pantry. I'm trying to think of some other things that I'm really excited about. And I'm going to take you along on the canning journey, but I'm going to take you along on doing some fajita beans. I call them my Mexican beans, my prep for refried, because I do refried black beans. All of my meats, I want to take you along. And this year, I can't remember if I did a video before, but I did a peach salsa that was so good. And I am really excited to show you that recipe too. So that was my pantry kind of chit chat of how I'm doing it. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I really do appreciate all the love and support that y'all give me, and the likes and the comments, and y'all just don't know how much that means and how much that helps my channel grow. So it's enough for this one. Love y'all, mean it. Make sure you are liking and subscribing if you haven't already. Press the bell, because then YouTube will notify you when I have a new video coming out. And when I go live, like tonight, Monday night. Oh, Destiny wanted to say hello too. But also follow me on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok now. All at Ormsby Farms. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye, y'all. Be blessed. Have a great week.